Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today on my little tutorial to show you how to make what I call an all-in-one favor box. And the reason I call it all-in-one is if you remove this ribbon like this, then when you pull on the lid, you will note that the lid and the box are all one piece. See, if you look down on the lid like so, you can peek down inside and fill it with all sorts of yummy things, preferably yummy chocolate things. At least at my house, it would be full of yummy chocolate things, but you can pretty much put anything you want in there. I came across the idea for this. I went to my niece's wedding luncheon and they had favors similar to this, and being a craft geek, of course, I had to come home and tear the whole thing apart, see if I could figure out how to make one for myself, which I did. So now I'm going to share what I made with you. The first thing you're going to need is to download the template that we've provided for you. It's just a PDF file. If you have trouble downloading it, make sure that you have the most recent version of Adobe Reader installed on your computer and you should have no trouble. So you download it and you print it out. And then you're going to need to take a little bit of temporary adhesive and stick it to the back of the template and then put it down on top of your paper, whether you're using cardstock or double-sided paper, it doesn't really matter. Just stick it down so that it stays in place. You don't have to put adhesive all over it, just in a couple choice spots will hold it right in place for you. The next thing you're going to need is a straight edge and a hobby blade. And what I need you to do next is to go through and to cut out all of the solid black lines. So just line up your ruler and cut those out. The only difference or alternative I would say that you might want to do is, if you'll notice, down the right side of the template, what forms the bottom edge of the lid, there's a wavy line. And then on the bottom of the box, on two of the flaps, here and here, there's a little bitty notch. And those two things, because they're wavy, I used scissors, made it a little bit easier to cut those out. So once you've cut those out through the magic of television, ta-da, see, it's already done. I have one already done for you. So that's what it should look like. And the next thing you're going to need to do is score all of the dotted lines. There's two sets of dotted lines. There's some red ones and some blue ones. And you just want to go through with your scoring tool. I happen to have a Score Pal, but you can use any scoring tool you happen to have. And go through and score all of those dotted lines. Just make sure that you push hard enough that the score line is going to go through not only the template, but down through your cardstock as well. So once you have scored all of those dotted lines, you're going to carefully remove the template, and once again, through the magic of television, ta-da, all my lines are already scored. The next step you're going to need to take is to fold and burnish those score lines. Now on the template it tells you exactly which direction they go. All of the blue lines are going to go outward or away from you, and all of the red lines are going to come inward or towards you. If you happen to be using double-sided paper or patterned paper, you're going to want to have the side of the paper where the pattern is that you want to show on the side of the box, you're going to want to have that facing up or towards you. So then you're just going to go through and fold over all those score lines and burnish them really well with a bone folder to make sure that those score lines will fold really well, particularly after you emboss everything. So as you can see, I have already burnished all of my score lines so that they're all ready to go. The next step on my sample is where I have embossed the sides of the box. Now you're going to notice that this cardstock is way too big to stick in the embossing folder one time because it's just too long. So you're going to have to run it twice. First thing you're going to need to do is place your cardstock in your embossing folder. And you're going to line up so that the top edge of your emboss lines up to the top edge of what's the side of your box, right there. So line it up, fold it over. Now in order to get this to fit through my Big Shot, so that it wasn't too wide, I folded this down over the top like that. If you happen to have a Cuttlebug, you may have to move the folder over just a little bit so that some of your emboss goes on the underside of your box lid, which is just fine. And fold it over like that so that it will fit through the machine when you run it. So you run that through and emboss it, and then you're going to want to flip the paper around and put it down on the other end. Now I tried my best to line up the patterns in the embossing so that they didn't overlap each other. I wish I could say I was absolutely perfect and it looked absolutely perfect, but it didn't. But that's okay. You might get a little bit of an edge off the edge of your embossing folder too. That's okay. Nobody's really going to notice it. So once you've got that all done, then your emboss looks like this. Now, the only thing left to do is to stick it all together. You need to get out your adhesive. I happen to be using ATG tape. You can use Tombow, you can use double stick tape, you can use glue dots, you can use sticky strip, whatever you happen to have on hand. So once you've taped the top side of that flap, make sure that it's bent over. And if after you emboss it, if you want to go through again and burnish all those lines to make them show up even better again, that might make it a little bit easier for you. So then take that tab and tuck it under the opposite end of your box and press it down. Oops. So that holds that together. The next step we're going to take is to put together the bottom of the box. Now you're going to notice that you have two sets of flaps. You've got some tall flaps, two tall flaps, and two short flaps. Make sure that one of the tall flaps is on your left side and the short flaps on your right side. And then you've got these little tabs that you've created with your score lines. The tab on your left, you're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the underside of just the tab, and then you have your score lines. You're going to take those two score lines and place one directly over the top of the other one and press down that little tab, like so. So you've created one flap from two. And then you're going to turn it over on the other side and do the exact same thing. Put the tall flap on your left and the short flap on your right. Check those score lines. Place one directly over the top of the other one and press it down. So now you have two flaps just like that, and you've got these little tall flappy pieces, tabs, that are sticking up. All my technical terms I'm sure you love. Then you're just going to take those and push them down into the hole like so, and pretty much that makes the bottom of your box just like that. So you flip your box over, and the only thing you have left is to put the lid together. You've got another tab just like you had on the side of the box. Put a little bit of adhesive right on top of that tab and just tuck it in to the opposite end of the lid. Whoops. Like so. Press it down in. And then all you need to do is press the lid down like so, and there you have your box. It's done and it's ready to embellish. Now I'll bring mine back out again. What I did on mine is I cut out a nice little scallop rectangle, stamped on it, added an embellished sentiment. This is a scallop trim that I cut out and stuck around. And then to close the box, I added this ribbon embellishment. You don't necessarily have to have ribbon to hold it closed. I mean, there's pretty much no end to the possibilities of how you can embellish these. So that's how I happen to do this one. The one that I had done originally after my niece's wedding lunch was this one. I kind of dolled it all up with some butterflies. For those of you who know me well, you know I'm a butterfly queen. So then you just open that up and stick your treats down inside there. Another thing that's kind of neat about this particular template, if you use double-sided patterned paper, one side of your pattern is going to show up on the sides of your box, and the other side of your paper, the pattern paper, is going to show up as the top. So it makes it look like you used two different papers when actually you only used one. So that kind of makes it fun too. So pretty much the only thing that's going to limit you in making these cute little favor boxes is your imagination. So print you out a template, make a fun box, fill it with fun things, and give it to someone you love. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.